Many of you may have wondered how to do embroidery. Well, embroidery is like sewing, but it's creating a design. You are drawing with a needle. So I want to show you some basics embroidery. This is called an embroidery hoop. There are two components, and the outer hoop has a spot where there's a screw. The screw can come out, but please try not to make it come all the way out. Just take it out a little, screw it a little so that the outside hoop can be flexible and open. The hoop that's a complete circle is the innermost hoop. Grab a piece of fabric that goes bigger than that big circle and put the flexible circle on the top. Then tighten the screw. This is setting up your embroidery. From here, you're going to need some needles. You could use a sharp needle, but these plastic needles are available for everybody. Grab some string or yarn that you want to use and thread your needle. Now, threading a needle can be kind of challenging. You want to put the yarn or the thread through that hole, the eye of the needle. That's the basic idea. One technique is to just twist the string really tight, hold just the tip of the piece, put it through the eye and hold the eye in the yarn. And with your other hand, pull the yarn through and then tie the two ends. Or if that doesn't work for you, another way is to take a piece of paper and fold it. Fold it so that it is a V shape that fits through the eye of the needle. Then you're going to use this folded piece of paper to, like a hot dog, to put the yarn in. And then stick the paper through the eye and pull the yarn through. And there you go. That's how you can thread a needle. Sometimes you might need to make your paper smaller, depending on the needle you have, but it still works the same. A V shape that is like a hot dog bun to hold the string and put it through. Or you can thread a needle the way that you know how or that works for you. From here, you're going to tie the two ends together to make a knot at the end so that you can begin embroidery. The best way to tie a knot is to match up the two ends like best friends, make them into a U, circle, put the best friends in the middle, and then pull it. So here we go. Make it into a U, cross the best friends over to make a circle. Put the best friends in the middle so it looks like a Q or a pretzel. And where that twisted part is where the knot's going to be. So you're going to pull the best friends away from the rest of the yarn. You can gently scooch the knot down the yarn and pull tightly to create the knot. And then make sure that the knot's on one end and the needle's on the other end. Now that our needle is threaded, it's time to begin stitching. Basic embroidery is just poking the needle through and pulling. But you don't want to poke it through the front. You want to poke it through the back so that that knot is hidden on the back side. And pull the string all the way until the knot touches that back. Then you're going to make a stitch. Your stitches do not need to be huge, just about as thick as your finger or something smaller. And pull the string all the way again to make one stitch, which just looks like a dash line. Then you're going to begin another stitch by poking from the back next to that first stitch, but not on top of it, just a little bit away, and pull the yarn all the way again. And poke back down about the same distance so that your little stitches are the same size. You can flip it over and look at the back to poke from the back, pull it from to the front, and stitch more. Embroidery requires patience, so you'll be looking at the back and front, making all of your stitches and pulling the needle and yarn all the way. And when I'm doing this, I'm making a simple straight line with all of my stitches being the same size. But now it's time to tie a knot. So I cut off the yarn and tie a knot, twist and pull through and tie a knot. Whenever you're done, the embroidery hoop stays here. But if you wanted to make a design from embroidery, you'll first need to draw the design onto the fabric. You can do that with pencil or with another tool like a marker like I did here. And get your needle ready with the string on it and a knot. And then up and down, making this stitch to make your design. Now my eyes are far apart and I don't need to tie a knot yet. All I'm going to do is go to the other eye and start stitching up and down. I'm going to make 3 little stitches to match the other side. Now I'm ready to just go over to the mouth and make some stitches and through the other parts of the mouth. But now my yarn is out. Are 2 needle lengths worth of yarn, so I'm not going to sew anymore. What I'm going to do is cut off the needle and tie it the way I know best so that my embroidery does not come undone. I can cut off any of the dangly parts of the string. And now I'm going to finish my smile by threading the needle and tying the knot and stitching around the smile. And this is a finished piece. Here's another way to tie a knot. Just go through one of your stitches and make a loop. Put the needle through that loop and pull. That is 1 knot, but you need to make 2 or 3. Through the stitch, through the loop, and pull. Through the stitch, through the loop, and pull. That's a secure knot, so cut it off, put back the supplies, take away the embroidery hoop, and put it away. Now, if you have a project that you're working on that is not done yet, you can just put your name on a piece of tape to store it in the sculpture box for later.